Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Science, and today in this video I will be talking about the monthly horoscope for the month of June 2023 for all 12 ascendant signs. 2 days back, Venus has made a transit. Venus has entered the sign of Cancer and got conjunct with Mars. Mars has been transiting in the sign of Cancer in its debilitated state, and now this conjunction of Mars and Venus is happening in the sign of Cancer. One more important thing which is happening right now is that the close proximity of Rahu and Jupiter as far as the longitudinal degrees are concerned, which is going to be like a big planetary energy which is impacting every one of us, and it has already started. And if I talk about the month of June 2023, this conjunction of Rahu and Jupiter is going to play a very vital role in everyone's life. If I talk about the planetary position and the transits, then in the sign of Aries we have Mercury, Rahu and Jupiter at this moment of time, and Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction, very closely placed as far as the longitudinal degrees are concerned. Mercury will leave Aries on 7th of June. It will come out of the clutch of Rahu. On 7th of June it is leaving Aries and it is entering the sign of Taurus. And at this moment of time in the sign of Taurus we have Sun. So on 7th of June onwards it will be a conjunction of Sun and Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Then on 15th of June Sun is changing the sign. Sun is changing the sign from Taurus to Gemini. Now in this month we have one more transit of Mercury. Like on 7th of June Mercury changes the sign from Aries to Taurus. The same Mercury will again leave Taurus on 24th of June 2023. It will leave Taurus and it will enter its own sign Gemini. So again Mercury will be in conjunction with Sun in the sign of Gemini. So again it is a very good transit, I will say. Next, if we talk about Mars and Venus, they are in conjunction in the sign of Cancer. 2 days back Venus has entered the sign of Cancer and it has got conjunct with Mars. Now that is also going to play a very vital role, because in this month of June Venus will transit very slowly. If you check the longitudinal degree wise transit of Venus, you will see that Venus is transiting very slowly during this month of June 2023. So although Venus will be like degree wise it will have less degree as compared to Mars, but still the conjunction of Mars and Venus, by the end of the month you will see that Venus has come very close to Mars. So that is going to play another important role during this particular month. And one more important event which is going to happen is that Saturn is going to turn retrograde in its own Mula Trikona sign Aquarius. Saturn is transiting in the sign of Aquarius, and this month on 17th of June 2023, Saturn, the planet of karma, justice, is turning retrograde. So basically it is a wonderful time to be more innovative, find some good solutions to our problems, and look into our actions in a more powerful manner, so that we can make the future of ours and the society much more better. Something good for the mankind, something good for the people. Okay, so this month is going to be very important for every one of us. If we talk about Ketu, then yes, Ketu is transiting in the sign of Libra. So basically these are the important things which we must look into during this month of June 2023, and it will definitely impact every one of us. And I will be talking about all the 12 ascendant signs, that how this planetary energies are going to play its role for every ascendant, but definitely it will play a significant amount of role for everyone's horoscope in different manner, in different magnitude. Correct. It will depend upon your horoscope, it will depend upon your dasa, it will depend upon the planets where they are sitting. it will have other impact also. So anytime if you want a consultation from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. You will find all the links down in the description section. And one more request to all of you is that if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. So now let us start with all the 12 ascendant signs. Yes, you can watch it from your moon sign also, but I will request you that first check it from your ascendant sign and then check it from your moon sign, so as to get more better insight, because ascendant sign will give you the idea that how the results are getting manifested in the physical realm, okay, and the moon sign will give you the idea that how it is impacting you emotionally. So now let us start with all the 12 ascendant signs. For the Aries ascendant people, at this moment of time, Jupiter, Rahu and Mercury are transiting in your first house. If I talk about specifically regarding Rahu and Jupiter, they both are in very close proximity to each other, transiting in your ascendant. This can lead to significant amount of confusion, dilemma regarding your thought process, your ideology and your belief system. There can be clashes of ideology between you and your elders of your family. Basically, clashes between the teachings of your father and guru, means you may feel deviated or diverted from your actual path during this close conjunction of Rahu and Jupiter during this transit. So during this particular time, it is very essential to follow the right things in our life, following the truthfulness, honesty and anything which is very righteous, following our dharma. That is essential during this particular time. Looking into the fact that Saturn is aspecting the sign of Aries, where Rahu and Jupiter both are transiting. During this particular time, more we are following the right things in right order with proper discipline and punctuality, more we are going to get good results. During this transition, if we spend some time in religious activities, studying the religious scriptures, or spending some time in spiritual practices, more we are going to get good results. If we talk about Mercury, then very soon Mercury will leave the sign of Aries on 7th of June. So in that way, Mercury will be out of the clutch of Rahu and from the aspect of Saturn. So it will be good for the communication and our conversation between us and our near and dear ones, specifically when we are dealing with any person in our daily contact. So it will improve our communication skills. It will improve the any kind of dispute or anything which might have had happened in the past. Those things will be resolved. Any kind of miscommunications which had happened in the past will be resolved now, after 7th of June, when Mercury comes into your second house in the sign of Taurus. But since Mercury happens to be your third lord and sixth lord transiting in the second house, so during this particular time, you need to be also be very careful regarding your expenditures, your spendings, and your family matter. Certain things related to your family will all of a sudden come in front of you, where you will need to address it properly. Okay, so these are the things which needs to be taken care of regarding the transit of Mercury in the sign of Taurus. At this moment of time, Sun is transiting in the sign of Taurus. So definitely it is improving your morale. It is improving your link towards your family tradition and culture. Although Rahu and Jupiter is in very close proximity, but since Sun is transiting in the sign of second house, still, so that is the reason it is giving you a positive intent to follow the right things in your life. So I will say it is a good transit for Sun transiting in the second house. But since Sun is a very hot and bright planet, so this can also lead to some kind of ego problems between you and your family members. On certain matters, there can be conflict of interest. Okay. Now, on 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun will come into your third house. Transit of Sun in the third house is normally considered very good because it gives a very strong sense of energy to perform your duties, your efforts, your actions. It gives a very positive approach to life. You will feel very energetic, and this is a wonderful time to start any new work. Or suppose if you are working on certain things, you will find that yes, now it is going towards completion or success. So in that way, Sun's transit in your third house in the sign of Gemini will give you much more better results after 15th of June when it enters the third house. Mercury will change the sign again on 24th of June. It will come onto your third house. It will leave the second house and it will come onto your third house. So that time, Mercury will improve your communication skills. Since Mercury rules your third house, the sign of Gemini, it will improve your communication skills. It will improve your intellectual abilities, and that will be one of the best time to look into the matters of communications in a much more innovative manner. So suppose you are thinking to learn new thing, or you are thinking of any kind of short travels, in that way also that transit of Mercury is going to give you much more better results. So for the students, the people who are learning or starting or thinking to learn new things, for them also it is a very good time. Or I will say that the people who are associated with any kind of work related to communication or communication technology, reading, writing, or public speaking, for them also that transit of Mercury will be much more better. Mars is your Lagna Lord, is transiting in the fourth house in the sign of Cancer, but Mars is debilitated over there. So here two things is very essential, that looking into your the fact that in the ascendant itself, Saturn is aspecting Rahu and Jupiter, both are very closely conjunct. And at this point of time, Mercury is also transiting in the first house, although Mercury will change the sign very soon. So the most important part here regarding Mars here is that healthcare. There can be some kind of you may feel that emotionally you are getting down. So certain matters can make you anxious, certain matters can make you a bit stressed. So you have to take extra care of your health. And I will say that since Mars is a fiery planet, Cancer sign, which is your fourth house, is a watery planet. So during this particular time, one of the good remedies that drinking adequate amount of water. This will improve the water element in your body. It will help you out to keep you calm. Not only that, engaging into any kind of physical activities within the home, like you can help someone in your home itself in the household work, or you can participate in any kind of work related to home, like decorating or innovating or gardening. Okay, in that way this Martian energy can be channelized in a proper manner. 2 days back, Venus entered the sign of Cancer and got conjunct with Mars. Now, I will say that this is a good transit of Venus because Venus is your second and seventh lord. So, you will see that you are getting help from your family members, you are getting support from your partner or from your spouse. Although you may feel emotionally down, but you will see that yes, someone is there beside you to support you emotionally. If I specifically talk about Saturn, then Saturn is your 10th lord and 11th lord transiting in the 11th house. And in this month, Saturn is turning retrograde on 17th of June 2023. So this is a very important time when you need to be very careful regarding your work ethics, your karma, and your work like responsibilities. Since it is transiting in your 11th house and it will be retrograde in the 11th house itself, so it will also bring about new kind of insights and opportunities to expand your work, build your work, and also bring new kind of gains for you and a steady growth for you. So definitely it is going to bring different kinds of solutions for you in your life. But again, at the same time, since it is the planet Saturn under the concern, so you need to have the responsibility to introspect your actions, your karma, and your efforts in a right manner, looking into the fact that yes, Jupiter will be under the affliction. It is under the strong influence of Rahu, so there will be a strong sense of illusion also. So you must stick to proper karma and dharma, that will give you much more better results. So that's it for the Aries ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For the Taurus ascendant people, at this moment of time, Mercury, Rahu, and Jupiter, they are transiting in your 12th house. If I talk about Rahu and Jupiter specifically, then they are in very close proximity to each other. And since they are transiting in the 12th house, so you need to be very careful regarding few things. Like, first of all, regarding your healthcare. Second thing is that you need to be very much stick towards your dharma, your karma, the right things and good things of your life. There will be moments when you may feel strongly getting deviated from your actual path. So during this particular time, try to avoid taking any kind of shortcuts, because Rahu's illusion will try to make you diverted from your actual thought process. Because don't forget, 12th house is also the house of loss. 12th house is also a part of the Sthana house. So during this particular time, when this Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction to each other, during this particular time, one wrong decision, one wrong step can land you into any kind of problem. It can lead to some kind of defamation also. Okay. So you need to be very careful regarding your health, and again at the same time you need to be also very careful regarding what you are thinking, what you are working upon. Your actions and your thoughts should be well judged, well proportionate. Second thing is that Jupiter happens to be your 8th lord and your 11th lord. So during this particular time, you should also stick to the right ways of earning the income, because Rahu can deviate you to some kind of path which are not meant to be taken. So these are the very important things during this particular time, I will say you. In case of any kind of health related problems or any kind of prevalent health problems which you are having or having in the past, then you should be careful regarding your health during this particular time, because this Rahu and Jupiter energy can bring upon some kind of health issues of the past in front of you. Okay. If I talk about Mercury, then at present Mercury is transiting in the 12th house in the in connection with Rahu and Jupiter, and Saturn is aspecting your 12th house by its third aspect. So yes, Mercury is afflicted, but very soon on 7th of June, Mercury is changing the sign. Mercury is coming onto your first house. At this moment of time, Sun is transiting on your first house. If I talk about Mercury and Sun, means on 7th of June, Mercury and Sun will be both transiting in your first house, and that will be a very good connection or good transition for you, because this Sun and Mercury will not only give you the proper intellect, proper wisdom, but also at the same time it will allow you to take your decisions with proper confidence, and it will also make you that self independent. So Although Rahu Jupiter, that combination will try to create some kind of illusion, but since Mercury will come onto your first house along with Sun, so that transition will help you out in multiple ways. Now, since Sun is aspecting your seventh house at this moment of time, so this can also lead to some kind of ego battles between you and your partner. Although the advent of Mercury into your first house will try to mitigate that problem, it will try to help you in your partnership or relationship, both at the personal, at the professional level. Okay. On 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun is coming onto your second house on 15th of June. Now, during that particular time, I will say you that you need to be very careful regarding your expenditures, or specifically how you are dealing with your family members, your elders of your family. Looking into the fact that Jupiter and Rahu will be in close proximity with each other. So there can be significant amount of clashes between you and the elders of your family. There can be some kind of dilemma or confusion regarding the teachings of your father and your guru. So that can lead to some kind of means, in one way you can say that innovative approach, in other way you may feel that there is a dilemma or confusion, or basically classes of ideologies between you and your elders of your family. Okay, so in that way you have to be very careful regarding that. At this moment of time, your Lagna Lord Venus is transiting in the sign of Cancer in your third house. 2 days back, Venus had entered the sign of Cancer and got conjunct with Mars. Now, Mars is debilitated in your third house. Normally, the transit of Mars in the third house is considered very good. But since it is debilitated, so yes, there can be lack of some kind of willpower regarding your intent towards your efforts and actions. You may feel a bit more lazy, or you may feel at times aimless regarding what you are starting or what you are doing. Some kind of confusion can be there. But this transit of Venus in the third house, that is the Lagna Lord Venus transiting in the third house, will help you out to take your decisions in a proper manner. Although because of that Venus transit in your third house, there can be some kind of confusion, or there can be some kind of struggles related to how you are maintaining your relationship or partnership at the personal or professional level. But definitely, since Venus is your Lagna Lord, so your own efforts, your own discipline, your own punctuality, and your own compassion will help you out not only to take good life decisions in this particular month, but also it will help you maintain a proper bonding between you and your partner, specifically with regards to your relationship. So during this month, it is all about you, that how you are taking the right decisions in your life. So don't get swayed away by that energy of Rahu, because during this particular month, if you get impacted by that Rahu Jupiter energy, then you won't be able to take right decisions, and that can impact that Martian energy, means it can impact your relationship, because Mars rules your seventh house. Okay, so these are the important things you need to be very careful about. On a better note, I will say that Venus transit in the third house will also improve your communication, your creativity. There can be possibility of some short travels. If I specifically talk about Saturn, you see Saturn is transiting in your 10th house, and on 17th of June 2023, Saturn will turn retrograde in your 10th house, and Saturn rules your 9th house of Dharma and 10th house of karma. So it is one of the important, significant and good planet for you. It is the yoga karaka planet for the Taurus ascendant people. So it is very important regarding this planetary energy, regarding the retrogression of Saturn. So it will be a time when you need to be very careful regarding your efforts, your hard work, your commitment, your work, your career and profession, be it your job or business, how you are dealing the work like environment, your bonding and relationship with your co-workers and your superiors and authorities will be looked into very essentially. Okay, not only that, this will be a time when you will also get innovative ideas and good approach towards your work like responsibilities. So you may get different kind of opportunities all of a sudden and responsibilities, but you have to also work on it. And since it is retrograde, it will be turning retrograde, so you will also get solutions for it to work on it. But again, at the same time, I will say that since it is your 10th lord and 9th lord, it is very essential to retrospect and introspect your actions, your ethics more properly, like following the dharma, following the proper ethics, righteousness. Then that will give you much more better results. Because when you are talking about dharma, Jupiter is the significator of dharma. Jupiter is the significator of 9th house, and Jupiter is afflicted. It is under the clutch of Rahu. So it is very essential during this particular time that you need to be very much stick towards your proper hard work, following the right things in your life, and that will give you much more better results. Okay, so that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For the Gemini ascendant people, at this moment of time, Rahu, Jupiter, and Mercury are transiting in your 11th house. If I specifically talk regarding Jupiter and Rahu, they are in very close proximity to each other. And since they are transiting in the 11th house, normally Rahu's transit or Jupiter's transit in the 11th house is considered very good. Now, since they are in very close proximity to each other, so there can be all of a sudden some innovative ideas coming into your mind in order to improve your work, in order to grow your business, in order to make more innovative planning, in order to improve your income and profits. But since Rahu is that illusionary power and energy, so you need to be also very careful regarding how you are choosing the path in order to improve your work or expand your work. So you should be totally engrossed into right path and not into any kind of diversion towards illusion, because Rahu energy will try to deviate you, divert you from your path, from your actual path. It will make you feel that you can do this also in using this shortcut in order to have much more gains. So during this particular time, suppose if you are working in a team, or you are thinking to improve your network circle, or you are allowing some new person to enter your network circle, you need to be very careful. You should be very judgmental during that particular time before you allow someone to enter in your life during this particular time. Because there is a high chance, high proximity that you may get into some kind of new relationship or new kind of bonding, because Jupiter happens to be your seventh lord. There is also a chance of change in job or change in profession. Jupiter happens to be your 10th lord. Suppose if you are already in any kind of relationship at the professional or at the personal level, since Jupiter is the 7th lord for you, so you need to be very careful regarding how you are managing the things now, because there will be subsequent amount of confusion between you and your partner. So in that way you have to be careful. On the other way, since they both are getting conjunct very strongly, so definitely it is trying to open new doors of income for you. So only you need to choose the right path. Okay. If I talk about Mercury, then normally the transit of Mercury in the 11th house is considered very good, because it improves the communication, it improves the intellectual ability towards your work, and also improve the your income and your gains in your life. But on 7th of June, Mercury will enter your 12th house. Although 12th house is ruled by Venus, the sign of Taurus, and Venus is very friendly to Mercury. So Taurus is a friendly sign for Mercury, but it is 12th house. So two things you need to be careful of. First is your health. Second is avoid any kind of miscommunication. Suppose if you are feeling that certain things needs to be conveyed, then you need to convey it. You may feel that okay, that person will understand it. No, they will not understand it. You have to explain it to them. Normally this kind of miscommunications happens when Mercury transits in the 12th house. If we talk about Sun, then at present Sun is transiting in your 12th house. Now normally Sun is a very hot and bright planet. So its transit in the 12th house can make you a bit restless. It can also lead to some kind of anxiety also, because it is a very hot and bright planet. So take out some time for meditation, take out some time for yoga, exercise practice. Okay, so in that way this transit of Sun will give you good results. Take out some time for spiritual activities. Okay, on 15th of June, Sun will transit into your first house. So that time this Sun will give you much more better results, because normally the transit of Sun in the first house gives very good results. It makes a person very confident. It will improve your personality, it will improve your health, and it will also allow you to take good decision making. And this will be backed by the transit of Mercury, which will happen on 24th of June, when Mercury will leave your 12th house and it will enter your first house. So then the conjunction of Sun and Mercury in your first house will not only improve your personality, your health, your intelligence, but also it will give you good name, fame, and proper status in front of the people. So that time it will also improve your bonding with the other person, your relationship and partnership. Okay, alone Sun can make you a bit more authoritative, so it can make some egoistic problems between you and your partner. But the moment Lagna Lord Mercury comes to your first house, Mercury gets directional strength in the first house. It becomes Digbali in the first house. So it is a wonderful position for Mercury, and it will be its own sign Gemini. So that time that Sun Mercury conjunction will not only improve your personality and your health, your decision making, but also it will improve the bonding between you and your partner at a better understanding level. If I talk about Mars and Venus, you see Mars is debilitated in your second house, and I will say that that can create some kind of some tension or anxiety or stress related to your family matters or related to your finances. You might get stressed about that. But you see, 2 days back, Venus entered your second house. Now, the transit of Venus in the second house is considered very good, because Venus is a planet of compassion, love, creativity. So it will improve the family life, it will improve the bonding between you and your family members, and again it will allow you to take good decisions regarding your wealth and finances. But yes, since Venus will be under the influence of debilitated Mars, so there can be some impulsive expenditures also. So make sure that you don't get into any kind of spendings or expenditures impulsively, or out of nowhere don't spend anything. Okay, if you really want to think about something related to luxury or comforts, you want to something to have in your house, in your family, then make sure that you really need it, think about it, and then you can take the decisions. Okay, because till 24th of June, from 7th till 24th of June, Mercury will be in the 12th house. Okay, so I will say that until and unless Mercury comes to your first house, don't make any unnecessary expenditures. After 24th of June, when Mercury comes to your onto your first house, that time decision making regarding your finances and everything will be much more easier for you. You see, Saturn is transiting in your ninth house, and Saturn happens to be your 8th lord and ninth lord. On 17th of June 2023, Saturn will turn retrograde. So it is going to be very important planetary transit for you, because Saturn is a very important planet for you. Saturn rules your ninth house, means it is one of the good planet for you. It rules your dharma, your bhagya, your fortune. So it is turning retrograde. So I will say that it is a time when Saturn will ask you to focus more on hard work, and with your hard work you are going to get results of your luck, fortune and divinity. This is a time when I will say that focus more on spiritual activities, religious activities, and follow the religious scriptures, customs and rituals. You can connect with your guru, teachings of your guru, teachings of your father in a better manner. That will give you much more better results, because you see Saturn, since it is transiting in the ninth house and it will turn retrograde, so all of a sudden it will ask you to introspect or retrospect your knowledge, your belief system, your higher knowledge. So this is a very good time, I will say, to learn new things, to work on, to make yourself perfect, to make yourself more innovative, because it is the sign of Aquarius. Because in that way it will make your future much more bright, beautiful and wonderful. It will allow you to focus on your aims and ambitions much more clearly in the upcoming days. So make the most out of it starting from 17th June 2023 onwards. So that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury and Jupiter are transiting in your 10th house. Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction as far as the longitudinal degrees are concerned. Since Jupiter rules your 9th house, so this can lead to some kind of dilemma or confusion regarding your own work ethics, your belief system, and that can lead to some kind of clashes of ideologies between you and the co-workers, the work environment or even the superiors and authorities. So this is a very important time that you must follow the right way of doing your work, following your dharma, following your karma in a proper manner, in a proper righteous manner. That will give you much more better results. There can be even confusion regarding your mode of work, so which can lead you to think more innovative, and that can actually create some issues between you and your authorities. So I will say that even if you are thinking innovative, it must be backed by proper punctuality, discipline and proper righteous way of doing your work. That will give you much more better results. Okay. And try to avoid any conflict between you and your co-workers, because during this particular time you see, understand that Jupiter is your sixth lord also. Okay, so try to avoid any dispute or conflict between you and your co-workers. Mercury is transiting in your 10th house, but very soon Mercury will leave your 10th house. It will enter your 11th house. It will come out of the clutch of Rahu. On 7th of June, it will enter the sign of Taurus in your 11th house. And it will get conjunct with Sun. So, in one way, it will improve your confidence level. It will improve the communication level between you and your network circle, your project members. But again, there can be a rise of ego that can lead to some kind of miscommunications also, because Mercury rules your 12th house also. So try to avoid your ego while you are communicating with your network circle. Try to become more friendly. That will give you much more better results. Okay. In this case, I will say you, during this particular time, suppose if you are associated with any work related to multinational company, or suppose you are working in some faraway place, or suppose you are associated with any kind of business which relates to export import work, or suppose if you are thinking to expand your work or business in some faraway place, in that particular scenarios, this transit of Mercury and Sun will be highly beneficial to you. Try to avoid any kind of unnecessary expenditures during this particular time, because Sun is your second lord and Mercury is your 12th lord. Okay, so these are the things which you must follow during this particular transit. Another thing is that if I talk about transit of Sun, then on 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun is coming onto your 12th house. And on 24th of June, Mercury is again changing the sign. It is coming onto your 12th house. So your second lord and your 12th lord, Mercury, your second lord happens to be Sun and your 12th lord happens to be Mercury, will be conjunct together in your 12th house after 24th of June. So that will be a time when you need to be very careful regarding your finances. Means unnecessary expenditures has to be taken care of, unnecessary spendings has to be taken care of. You must also be very careful regarding your health during that particular time. And I will say, since Mercury will be transiting in your 12th house, although it is your 12th lord, but it is transiting with your second lord, so there can be some miscommunications regarding how you are delivering your conversations or your speech, specifically with the people who are near and dear to you. There can be some unnecessary restlessness or anxiety because Sun is a very hot and bright planet and Mercury rules your nervous system. Mercury rules the nervous system, so there can be some kind of miscommunications, or it can also lead to some kind of health problems also. Okay, so take care regarding your health during that particular time and try to have more time on spiritual practices and more on meditation. That will give you much more better results during that particular transit of Sun and Mercury. If I talk about Mars and Venus, then Mars is transiting on your first house, but it is debilitated and it is accompanied by Venus now, because 2 days back Venus has entered your first house. So now it is Mars and Venus. Now Venus's transit in your first house, I will say it is a very good transit. Mars is also a very good planet for you. But since Mars is debilitated, so there can be a feeling that you may feel at times a bit more lethargic on certain matters. You may feel that I have the energy but I don't know what to do with it. So this can lead to some kind of anxiety or restlessness. But this transit of Venus on your first house will give you some sense of creativity within you. You can now use your creative talents and the energy of Mars in order to achieve certain things, because Venus rules your 4th house and your 11th house. So this also indicates that you may get some opportunity to improve your work. Although Rahu and Jupiter will be transiting in a very close conjunction in your 10th house, but this transit of Venus on your first house will give you a good opportunity to improve your work. It will also give you a very good opportunity to improve your communication skills. But since it is accompanied by Mars, so there can be some unexpected impulsive behavior also. So while you are dealing with your partner, while you are dealing with your means your spouse, or even if suppose if you are in some kind of relationship, I will say that try to be more compassionate rather than being very much impulsive. Okay, so these are the things which you must take care during this particular time. If I talk about Saturn, then Saturn is transiting in your 8th house. Saturn rules your 7th house and your 8th house, and it is the 8th lord transiting in the 8th house. But this particular month, one energy related to Saturn is that Saturn will be turning retrograde on 17th of June. So now Saturn is moving very slowly, and on 17th of June Saturn will turn retrograde. So it is a very essential moment to understand that you have to be very careful regarding your relationship, your partnership, both at the personal level, at the professional level. Your sense of responsibility, your commitment should be very truthful and righteous, looking into the fact that Jupiter will be in conjunction with Rahu. So there can be some kind of dilemma or confusion regarding your overall thinking or thought process. So suppose during this particular time when Saturn is turning retrograde, so it is very essential moment to understand that you should be very much compassionate, committed towards your relationship also. Since it is your 8th lord retrograding in the 8th house, so this is also an important moment to understand that you should be very, very careful regarding your health and health like discipline. Suppose if you are following the right mode of discipline towards your healthcare, your self-management, your punctuality and everything, then this Saturn will give you much more better results. But suppose if you are involving or indulging in any kind of work which are not meant to be done or which are not good for you, then this retrograde Saturn can create troubles for you. That can lead to some kind of health issues. Okay, so these are the things which you must take care regarding the planets in the month of June 2023 for the Cancer ascendant people. Make the most out of it. Okay. For the Leo ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury and Jupiter are transiting in your 9th house. Rahu and Jupiter will be in very close conjunction now as far as the longitudinal degrees are concerned, and Jupiter, since it is transiting in the 9th house, and Jupiter is the significator of the 9th house of dharma, religion, higher spiritual knowledge and belief system. So there will be significant amount of dilemma, confusion or even illusion regarding your own ethics, regarding your belief system and higher spiritual knowledge. This can even lead to clashes of ideologies between you and the elders of your family. It can lead to some kind of clashes of ideologies between you and your teachings of your father. You may feel that there is something which is going on within the thought process. There will be a strong urge to think in the other way around. The Rahu's illusionary power can also make you deviate or divert into some other path away from your own goals. So this is very essential time that you have to be very careful regarding your aims and goals of your life. Means every one of us has certain life goals. Now that can be related to day-to-day activities, that can be related to some long-term planning also. So you have to be very careful regarding this during this particular time, that it is very essential to follow the dharma and karma during this particular month when this close conjunction is happening, and also respect the right things in your life. So this is a essential time that you must take care regarding the health of your father. Follow the teachings of your guru and father more essentially during this particular time, because that is the only way to improve the power of Jupiter. Because Rahu's illusionary power will be so powerful during this particular month that it can lead you to some kind of illusion or confusion. One good thing is that during this particular time, that since it will make you very curious and innovative, or it may force you to think other way around, this is also a time when you can learn new things. Suppose if you are thinking to improve your knowledge or increase your knowledge on various subjects, law, philosophy or something else, on various subjects also, then you can take out some time and improve your learning, improve your knowledge. That way this particular transit will give you much more better results. One more practical remedy for this is that following the spiritual practices, following the religious practices, or even studying the religious scriptures will help you during this particular time. It will really help you to think the right things of your life. So in that way, you can make the most out of this particular transit. If I talk about Mercury, then very soon Mercury will come out of your 9th house. It will come out of the clutch of Rahu and it will enter your 10th house and get conjunct with Sun. Mercury is a very important planet for Leo ascendant people. Mercury basically rules your 11th house and your 2nd house. So 11th lord and 2nd lord transiting in the 10th house along with Lagna lord Sun is a very good transit, I will say. This will not only improve your confidence, your intellectual abilities at your workplace, but also give you proper intellect to complete your work on time, become more punctual and disciplined at your workplace. But yes, definitely you have to be very much cautious regarding your work ethics. Because why I say ethics? Because Jupiter will be transiting in your 9th house in very close conjunction with Rahu. So at times it can make you feel let me do this work in this way or that way. So that can lead to some kind of issues, because since Sun is also the planet of status and confidence, and in the 10th house it becomes very powerful. It's a very powerful Sun. So it can lead to some kind of ego. Okay, so you have to see the correct thing, that what is actually required and what is actually not required. So these are the things you need to be very careful about. But very soon, on 15th of June, Sun will change the sign. It will come onto your 11th house. And on 24th of June, Mercury will also change the sign. It will come onto your 11th house. So that time the conjunction of Sun and Mercury will be happening in your 11th house of gains, fulfillment of desires, and your profits. Okay, income basically. So it will again improve your communication skills. It will give you a very strong position at your work, and also give you success with regards to any kind of project where you are working in a team with your team members. It will improve your communication skills, and most importantly it will also help you with regards to your work. So that means it can be possible that uh, the hard work which you have done, you may get good results out of it, you may get the recognition for it. Okay, so you have to make the most out of it during that particular time. If I talk about Mars and Venus, then Mars is transiting in your 12th house in the debilitated state. So that transit may create some kind of anxiety or restlessness within you, because Mars is also your ninth lord, and in the ninth house you have the Rahu and Jupiter conjunction happening very closely. Okay, so regarding your thought process, regarding your own belief system and ideologies, there can be some kind of restlessness or anxiety going on. It has already started. It's been going on within you. So that can create to some kind of restlessness. Okay, but now the transit of Venus is happening in your 12th house. Normally the transit of Venus happening in the 12th house is considered good, because it allows the person to be more creative, it helps the person to get some enough rest, it helps in healing. Okay, and it also gives you the proper power to see through the spiritual well-being. In that way also, this transit of Venus in the 12th house is considered very good. But since Venus is your third lord and your 10th lord transiting in the 12th house, and in the presence of Mars in the debilitated state, so some matter related to your work, some matter related to your work ethics can be a reason of anxiety for you. Although it will be good for your health, it will be good for your healing, it will be good for your rest and proper sleep and everything. Okay, it will improve your luxuries and comforts, it will allow you to take proper rest. In that way, this Venus will be highly beneficial for you. But you have to understand that Venus is your 10th lord and third lord also. So on certain matters you may feel a bit lethargic or lazy regarding your putting your efforts, or you may feel that I'm putting my efforts but I'm not getting enough results out of it, or this can lead to some kind of confusion or anxiety related to your work. Okay, so you need to be like planning the things more promptly. Plan your work beforehand, that will give you much more better results. Okay, if we talk about Saturn, Saturn is transiting in your 7th house. Now, Saturn happens to be your 6th lord, Saturn happens to be your 7th lord. And Saturn this particular month is turning retrograde on 17th of June. So it is going to be very important planetary energy with respect to Saturn. So this can lead to have like more increased commitment towards your and responsibilities towards your partnership and relationship. So here Saturn will test these things. So during this particular time you need to be very careful regarding your partnership and relationship, both at the personal and at the professional level. Since Saturn is also your sixth lord transiting in the seventh house, so certain matters related to any kind of confusion or dispute, or any matter which you might have had ignored regarding your partnership, will all of a sudden come in front of you, and you have to take care regarding those things. You also will need to have more responsibility and commitment towards your service or towards your job. So suppose if you are working under someone, then you need to follow your service and job in a more disciplined manner. Or suppose someone is working under you, in that particular case also you need to take care regarding your subordinates, because don't forget, Saturn also represents masses. So that means anyone working under you, you have to be very much compassionate towards that person also. Okay, take care regarding that person also. And since it is retrograde in the seventh house, so you have to be very careful regarding the health of your spouse, or how you are connecting with your spouse in a more responsible manner. In that way, this particular transit of Saturn will give you much more better results. So that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury, and Jupiter are transiting in your 8th house. Now, Mercury is your Lagna Lord. But very soon, Mercury will come out of your 8th house on 7th of June. It will come out of your that clutch of Rahu. Since Mercury is the Lagna Lord, after it comes out of the 8th house, it will enter the 9th house. So, that time, this Mercury will give you much more better results as far as Mercury is concerned. But if we talk about Rahu and Jupiter, they are in very close conjunction now. And Jupiter rules your 4th house and your 7th house. Now, since Jupiter rules your 4th house and 7th house, so and it is in conjunction, close conjunction with Rahu in the 8th house, so this is a time when you need to be very, very careful regarding your domestic matters, your domestic happiness, your mental well-being, and also your partnership and relationship at the personal or at the professional level. Certain matters can come in front of you which may create some kind of confusion or dilemma or even illusion regarding you and your partner, and that can create some kind of conflict between you and your partner. So it is very essential during this particular time that sorting out the things will give you much more better results rather than getting into some kind of illusion. Okay, so in that way you have to take care regarding this Rahu and Jupiter energy. If we talk about Mercury, then after 7th of June, Mercury will enter your 9th house, and that time this Mercury will give you much more better results because normally transit of Mercury in the 9th house, and since it is the Lagna Lord, it is considered very good because it will not only improve your health but also give you fresh exposure to some good knowledge and belief system. Because prior to this, when Mercury was transiting with Rahu and Jupiter in the 8th house, it has created some kind of problems regarding your health, regarding your belief system, regarding your ideologies. But now it is giving you an opportunity to look back into the right things of your life. Although Jupiter will be in conjunction with Rahu in the 8th house, but still this Mercury will give you good opportunity to do the right things. So this is a time you will have enough confidence, you will have enough intellectual ability to learn new things, to follow the right things of your life, and that way this will give you much more better results. There can be a possibility of travels, long distance travels. So I will say that pursuing some religious pursuits, or visiting some religious places, or getting connected with some religious and spiritual communities will give you much more better results. It will not only improve the right things and good things or divinity within you, but also it will allow you to follow the good ideologies in your life. Okay, if we talk about Sun, then at this moment of time, Sun is transiting in your 9th house, and when Mercury gets conjunct with Sun, they both will be giving you much more better results. It will improve your spiritual knowledge, your interest towards religious knowledge will be much more high during that particular time. On 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun is coming onto your 10th house. Now, normally the transit of Sun in the 10th house is considered very good because it allows you to be more confident. It gives you the power to follow your work in a more disciplined manner, and not only that, it also help you to give you good results regarding your work. Okay, it will improve the bonding between you and your superiors in a much more better manner. And on 24th of June, Mercury is also changing the sign. Mercury is coming into your 10th house. So this Sun and Mercury conjunction in the 10th house will not only improve your work but also give you good intellectual abilities, inclination to learn new things at the work and follow those principles at your work in a much more better manner and ultimately give you much more good results. So I will say that apart from that, Rahu Jupiter conjunction happening in the 8th house, the transit of Sun Mercury is going to be highly beneficial for you. If I talk about Mars and Venus, you see, Mars is transiting in your 11th house in the debilitated state, but it has got joined with Venus. Now, Venus happens to be your ninth lord. So, you will see that although there will be some lack of willpower, or you may feel that I am not getting that proper energy to put up my actions, but you will see that some divine power is helping you. There will be solutions to your problems. Means even if you feel that some problems are there, some in some way or the other, you will find the solutions in your life. So in that case, this Venus will give you much more better results. One thing I will say you that Venus is your second lord also, and transiting along with debilitated Mars in the 11th house. So during this particular time, try to avoid any kind of unnecessary expenditures. Okay, in that way, this will give you much more better results. Now, one important thing here is that Mars and Venus will be looking onto your fifth house. So during this particular time, there is a chance that you may get into some kind of relationship. It can be all of a sudden some romantic bonding between you and some other person. All of a sudden, it may start. It may come over in your life during this particular time. So I will say that don't get impulsive. Rather than look into the compassionate side of your love and romance in that way. That will give you much more better results. Okay. If I talk about Saturn, you see Saturn is your fifth lord and sixth lord, and it is going to turn retrograde this month on 17th of June. So this is going to become a very important planetary energy with respect to Saturn in your chart, and it is happening in the 6th house. Normally the transit of Saturn in the 6th house is considered very good. Okay, now since it is turning retrograde, so during this particular time, two three things you have to be very careful about. First of all is that there can be some kind of you may feel some kind of lacking regarding the creative skill set. Okay, so this is a time when you have to work on your creative knowledge, or learning new subjects or knowledge regarding your work, which will help you in your work in your future, because you may feel that some lacking is there, something is there which has to be taken care of. So regarding your intelligence, regarding your creativity, this is a good time to learn, to start some work on that, some hard work on that, because sixth house is also the house of hard work and struggles. Okay. Um some There can be some feelings regarding that you may feel that all of a sudden some obstructions are coming regarding your life path. So I will say that looking into the positive side, I will say that this is a time which also indicates that even though challenges are coming, that challenges are actually meant to make you sure that you can work on it more properly, learn new things, and ultimately get success in your future. Okay, so this Saturn will not only give you good results regarding your improving your knowledge, but also give you good results in future regarding your hard work. So more hard work you are doing now, it will give you much more better results after it turns direct. Okay, so since it will start on 17th of June, make the most out of it. And during this particular time, I will say that take care regarding your health also, because it is your sixth lord retrograding in the sixth house. And another thing I will say you that during this particular time, suppose if you are working under someone or someone is working under you, in either of the cases you need to be very careful that you should take care regarding the your subordinates in a more disciplined and compassionate manner. Or suppose if you are working under someone, in that case also try to follow your job and service in a more disciplined manner. In that way, this transit of Saturn in the retrograde manner motion will give you much more better results. Okay, so that's it for the Virgo ascendant people. For the Libra ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury, and Jupiter are in transit in your 7th house, and now Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction with each other in your 7th house. So here 2 3 things I will say. That first of all, suppose if you are thinking to get into a relationship, or suppose if you are planning to get into a new kind of partnership, or something like that, then you may get all of a sudden some new opportunity to get into a bonding, get into a relationship during this particular time. Okay. But suppose if you are already, if in any kind of relationship or partnership, then there can be some kind of conflict, dilemma, or confusion, because Rahu's illusionary power may make you feel otherwise. Okay, so these are the things which you need to be very careful about, specifically regarding the health of your spouse, or I will say that there can be any kind of conflict or dispute between the understandings or ideology between you and your partner. So I will say that take some time to sort it out in a proper manner. That will give you much more better results. If I talk about Mercury, then Mercury is transiting at present in your 7th house, but very soon it will come out of the clutch of Rahu on 7th of June. It will enter your 8th house and get conjunct with Sun. Now, transit of Sun in the 8th house is normally considered not that great, because Sun is the universal significator of soul. Now, significator of soul transiting in the 8th house is not considered good, so that can lead to some kind of health issues, the restlessness, anxiety, heat related ailments can be there. And Mercury, the moment Mercury enters your 8th house, that Sun Mercury conjunction in the 8th house can lead to that nervous related issues, means some heat related, nervous system related issues. So I will say that 2 things. First of all, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of work you are doing, or how much work you are doing, hard work you are doing, take out some proper time to take care of your health. Proper rest, proper health care will be highly essential during this particular time. This is the most important thing you have to understand. Okay. Secondly, transit of Mercury in the 8th house also is beneficial to some matters, because it allows you to understand the actual life purpose. Okay, because since Mercury is a very curious, very inquisitive planet energy. Okay, so this is also a time to find out the solutions to the problems of your life. So anything which is creating problem in your life, this is the time when this Mercury will give you good results regarding how you are taking out the good results. But on 15th of June, Sun will change the sign. Sun will come out of your 8th house, which is a good thing. It will enter the 9th house. So again, this transit of Sun will be beneficial to you. Since Sun is your 11th lord transiting in the 9th house, means on 15th of June it will come out of your 8th house and it will enter the 9th house. So that will create a Dhan Yoga, first of all. Means whatever work you are doing, it will create the opportunity to success, and ultimately it will improve the opportunity for wealth creation and generation. This is the first thing. Second thing is that Sun will be accompanied by Mercury on 24th of June, because Mercury will change the sign. Mercury is a very important planet for Libra ascendant people, because it is your 9th lord and your 12th lord. So it will help you learn new things related to spirituality, related to religious scriptures, okay, and religious rituals and customs. It will also improve your bonding between you and your father and your guru. There is a possibility, strong possibility, that you may visit to some religious places, some religious pursuits can be there, or even long distance travels can be there. Suppose if you are thinking to start something new of your own, or if you want to improve your communication skills, in that way also this Sun and Mercury conjunction will be highly beneficial in the 9th house. If I talk about regarding Mars and Venus, you see Mars is transiting in the debilitated mode in your 10th house. So there can be some kind of anxiety related to your work, some kind of restlessness. There can even be some kind of issues between you and your superiors. But now Venus has accompanied Mars 2 days back. It has entered the sign of Cancer in your 10th house. This Mars Venus conjunction will help you, because more specifically related to Venus. Now Venus is your Lagna Lord. It is your 8th lord. So it means that now you own self will take the charge in order to make sure that everything turns out highly successful and better for you. Because see, Mars is our energy, Mars is our willpower, and Mars is turning debilitated in your 10th house. So that means in one way or the other, it means that simply that you are not getting that willpower to do your work. But now this Venus is the Lagna Lord. Venus is coming into your 10th house, so it is just like acting as a charger. It will charge you out to do the right things in right manner. Although it will be impacted by Mars, so there can be some kind of impulsion at your work also. So I will say, bring out the compassionate, creative nature of Venus rather than getting impulsive with the debilitated state of Mars. Okay, so in that way, this will give you much more better results. It will also improve, this Venus transit will also improve the bonding between you and your authority, and Venus will aspect your fourth house, so it will also improve the domestic happiness at your personal level, at your mental level. It will be highly beneficial to you. Okay. Now, if I talk about Saturn, you see Saturn is your fourth lord and fifth lord, transiting in the fifth house. This month, on 17th of June, Saturn will turn retrograde. Now, this retrograde state of Saturn in the fifth house, first of all, this is a time when you need to be careful regarding your domestic matters. Any matter related to your home or any matter related to your domestic matters, or anyone living with you in your home, related to them also means your family members. Okay, certain matters will come in front of you which you need to be taking care of. You must take care regarding those things. No matter howsoever small matter it is, you have to be very careful regarding that. Since it is retrograding in your fifth house, so this is also a time when you have to improve your skill set, your creative skill set. Means, since it is transiting in the sign of Aquarius, so that means you will definitely get innovative solutions towards your problems. But Saturn is asking you to become more committed and disciplined in order to find that solutions. So suppose if you are thinking that let it be, then you may get into some kind of problem. Don't ignore it. Suppose if anything is there which you must learn, which you must work upon, then this is the time you just look into it, and then you see that how the Saturn is going to give you much more better results. Okay, because don't forget, Saturn will be aspecting your 11th house. So more hard work you are doing to learn new things, more hard work you are doing to improve your creative talents, more you are going to get good results. This is also a time you may like to learn some creative religious scriptures, or learn some religious rituals and customs, because since it is transiting in the fifth house in the retrograde mode. Okay, um, since it is your fourth lord also, so I will say that this is also a time when you need to be very careful regarding the health of your mother. Okay, during this particular time, and how you are connecting with your network circles during this particular month of June 2023, because in this month only the retrogression will start. So all of a sudden there will be a change of energy for you. So how you are connecting with the network circles will also be essential and very important for you. So that's it for the Libra ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For the Scorpio ascendant people, Jupiter, Rahu, and Mercury is transiting in your sixth house. Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction now in your sixth house, and I will say that during this particular time, 2-3 things are very essential. First thing is that your health, you need to be very careful regarding your health since it is happening in the sixth house. Second thing, matters related to your expenditure, your finance, and your investment plans, matter related to your children, your progeny, your creative skill set. These are the things, your management skills. These are the things will be very essential now. These are the actual thing which make lead to some kind of anxiety within you, some dilemma, some confusion within you. You may feel that certain things are there which are not clear. Means there can be subsequent amount of anxiety within you regarding all these things. So I will say that take care regarding your children, take care regarding your progeny. Suppose if you are thinking to learn new things, then there can be some initial struggles can be there while learning new things. Or suppose if you are a student, then during this particular time there can be some initial struggles while learning new things. Okay, but you have to keep on doing the hard work, because sixth house is also doing the hard work on regularity. So keep on doing the hard work, it will give you good results. Try to avoid any kind of unnecessary expenditures or spendings during this particular time, or try to avoid any kind of new investment plans now. Okay, this is very essential for the Scorpio ascendant people. Don't waste your money on everything that can, because that can be something which is not actually what you are thinking, because Rahu energy is there. It can be a strong sense of illusion. Okay. Now, if I talk about Mercury, at present Mercury is also transiting in your 6th house, but on 7th of June, Mercury will leave the sign. It will come on to your 7th house. Now, Mercury happens to be your 11th Lord and 8th Lord. Now, normally the transit of Mercury in the 7th house is normally not considered that great, and Mercury is your 8th Lord. So, this can lead to some kind of conflict or even dispute or miscommunication between you and your partner, because here Mercury will be in conjunction with Sun, so there can be some kind of ego battles or miscommunications between you and your partner. Now that can be at the professional level, that can be at the personal level also, means between your partner or your in your relationship also. Okay, so take care regarding the health of your partner. Try to cooperate him or her, that will give you much more better results, and don't hesitate to take any cooperation from them. Suppose if you are feeling that you need the help of your partner, don't hesitate to take it. Don't allow your ego to come between you and your partner. Or I will also say that this is not a good time to get into a relationship. Okay, looking into the fact that this Sun and Mercury will be conjunct in your 7th house. So suppose if you are thinking to get into a new kind of relationship, then this is not a good time. And try to wait for some time. Okay, and then later on you can think about it. Okay, so these are the things which you have to be very careful. On 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun is coming onto your 8th house. Now Sun is the significator of soul. Sun is the planet of vitality, basically. It is transiting in the 8th house on 15th of June onwards. So I will say that very essential, take care regarding your health. This is the most important thing. This can also lead to I will say some kind of heat related problems in the health. Okay, so try to take extra care of your health. Try to have proper sleep, proper rest. On 24th of June, Mercury will also change the sign. It will come out of your 7th house and it will enter the 8th house. Although Mercury is your 8th Lord itself, but still I will say the conjunction of Mercury and Sun in the 8th house, you need to be very careful regarding your health. Specifically, any issues related to nervous system or nerve health. Okay, these are the important things you have to be very careful about. Mars is your Lagna Lord, transiting in the 9th house in the debilitated state. So there can be some kind of anxiety or confusion regarding your thought process, your belief system, looking into the fact that the significator of your 9th house is Jupiter transiting with Rahu in the 6th house. So there can be some inner struggles, some inner battles may go on within you regarding your belief system, regarding your thought process. So I will say you that during this particular time, involving more into spiritual activities, involving more into religious activities, rituals and customs will give you much more better results, because it will improve the energy of Jupiter within you, and ultimately it will give you much more better results. Venus has entered your 9th house. Now normally the transit of Venus in the 9th house is considered very good, and now Venus happens to be your 7th Lord. Venus happens to be your 12th Lord. Now 7th Lord transiting in the 9th house, so it also indicates that you will get proper cooperation and help from your partner, from your spouse, in pursuing your life goals. In that way it is beneficial. Now since Venus happens to be a 12th Lord also transiting in the 9th house, so this also indicates that there can be a good possibility of long distance travel, specifically to some spiritual place, to some religious place. Okay, since Mars is the Lagna Lord itself sitting in the 9th house in transit, so there is a good possibility that you may move to some faraway place, some long distance travel, and visit some religious places and get connected with some religious communities also. Okay, it is a good time to get in touch with your guru, get in touch with the teachings of your guru and father. In that way it will be highly beneficial for you. If I talk about Saturn, Saturn is transiting in your fourth house, and Saturn is your third lord and fourth lord. You see, Saturn will be retrograde this month on 17th of June 2023 in your fourth house, and this is very essential for you because Saturn rules your third house. Most important part, Saturn rules your efforts, your actions, your courage, okay, your communication. So during this particular time, you need to be very careful regarding what and where, what type of efforts and where you are putting your efforts, your actions. These are the things where you have to be very careful about. Suppose if you have ignored any kind of work in your past, all of a sudden you may find interest in that work, you may restart it. So this is a good time to look onto your hidden talents, your hidden creative talents, and work on those things. This is a wonderful time because this Saturn is retrograde in its own sign, Aquarius. It's its Mula Trikona sign. So that means it will not only give you some innovative answer, some innovative approach, but also give you some good scientific futuristic ideas to work on your problems, and ultimately it will give you that solutions to it. Okay, so suppose if you are thinking about your efforts and actions, then work on the creative talents you have. It will give you much more better results. And since it is retrograding in the fourth house as the fourth lord, so certain matters related to your home, your domestic environment, or the people with whom you live in the house, on these matters you need to be very careful. Take care regarding the health of your mother. Okay, during this particular time it is very essential. And I will also say that take care regarding your discipline, punctuality, and your own health also. Okay, because Saturn is retrograding in the fourth house, and it will be looking onto your 10th house also. So during this particular time, certain matters related to you and your work environment, some there can be some issues which may come in front of you, which you need to address. Some challenges may come which you need to work upon. More hard work you are doing now, more it is going to give you much more better results. So it is a good time to look onto your karma in a taking out some time and looking into it in a more retrospective, introspective manner. Okay, so more it is going to give you much more better results. So that's it for the Scorpio ascendant people. For the Sagittarius ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury, and Jupiter is in conjunction with each other on in your fifth house, and Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction to each other in your fifth house, and Jupiter rules your first house and fourth house. So this is very essential time that you need to be very careful regarding your health, your personality, your decision making, because there can be a strong chance of dilemma, confusion regarding your management skills, regarding your decision making, and also regarding how you are thinking onto some matters, because fifth house also deals with our mentality, our creative skills, our creative intelligence. So basically this will create some confusion regarding how you are thinking onto some matter, means it will directly impact your intellectual ability, your intelligence. So this is a time when suppose if you are thinking about something to take a decision, or you are deciding about something, then before you take action, look into each and every matter while you are thinking on certain things, because it can be a mere illusion created by Rahu, means the confusion may be a illusion created by Rahu, and you take some impulsive decision, and that can lead to some kind of problem. Looking into the fact that Mars is debilitated in your 8th house, okay, and Mars's 8th aspect is falling on your 3rd house of efforts and actions, and from 3rd house Saturn is aspecting your 5th house. So don't get into any kind of impulsive behavior, and don't follow your illusion. Okay, just trust the abilities, your intellectual abilities, and try to improve it. Suppose if you are thinking about something, then look into each and every matter and then only act upon it. That will give you much more better results. And take care regarding health, take care regarding any matter related to your domestic matters or your home. Take care regarding the health of your mother also during this particular time. That will give you much more better results. If I talk about Mercury, then very soon Mercury will leave your fifth house and it will enter your sixth house on 7th of June. It will come out of the clutch of Rahu, but yes, Mercury happens to your 10th lord and 7th lord, which will be transiting in the 6th house. So during this particular time, you need to be very careful regarding your partnership. Now that can be at the personal level or at the professional level, means your partnership and relationship. So I will say that this is not a good time to get into a new kind of relationship or partnership, I will say. Rather, this is a time to try to sort out the disputes or conflicts which are actually going on, which are there within at present in your partnership or relationship. If any, then try to resolve it out. That is the most important thing to do now. Okay. Or if you are already in any kind of partnership or relationship, some kind of conflict or dispute may come, may come in front of you, which you may need to get addressed about, which you may need to look into. That will give you much more better results. Try to sort it out, try to have a proper communication rather than getting into a strong critical behavior. So that will give you much more better results. Okay. Suppose if you are doing any job or you are working somewhere or doing any service, in that case also try to avoid any kind of miscommunications between you and your superiors and your co-workers. Try to avoid any kind of manipulation. Just follow your work. That will give you much more better results. At present, Sun is transiting in your sixth house. Normally, the transit of Sun in the sixth house is considered very good because it gives you the proper power and energy to follow your hard work, and it will also give you the proper energy to overcome your struggles and challenges. But on 15th of June, Sun will come out of your sixth house. It will enter your seventh house. Now, on 24th June, Mercury will also come to your seventh house. Also, Mercury is your seventh lord, so that time Mercury will give you good results, but it will be in conjunction with Sun. So try to avoid any kind of egoistic behavior or ego battles between you and your partner. That will give you much more better results rather than try to sort it out with proper communication. That will really help you out regarding your relationship. Now, Mercury happens to be your 10th lord also. So when Mercury enters your sixth house on 7th of June, some matters related to your work or work-like environment may be a cause of anxiety, or some you may be thoughtful regarding your work, or some matters can be there which may create some kind of restlessness within you. But things will be much more better when Mercury enters your seventh house. It will be good for your work life. It will be improving your bonding between you and your employer or your authorities and superiors after 24th of June when Mercury enters your seventh house. It will be good for your work like environment or your work, job, or profession, whatever you are involved in. If we talk about Mars and Venus, you see Mars is your fifth lord, where Jupiter and Rahu is transiting at this point of time, and Mars is also your 12th lord, transiting in the 8th house in the debilitated state. So during this particular time, inherently there will be some kind of confusion regarding your thought process or your thinking regarding any kind of management or decision. Okay, this is also a time you need to be very careful regarding your health also. Some sense of lethargy can be there regarding how you are taking your actions, how you are putting your energy into some kind of effort or starting any new kind of work. Some kind of confusion can be there. But Venus has entered your 8th house 2 days back, and it has got conjunct with Mars in the 8th house. Okay, now Venus happens to be your 6th lord and happens to be your 11th lord. Now, normally the transit of Venus in the 8th house is considered good because it improves the bonding between you and your partner. Specifically at the relationship level, it improves the bonding in a more strong manner. But since Venus is also your 6th lord and 11th lord, so it can also indicate that some matter related to your relationship may come in front of you, which needs to be addressed first, which needs to be taken care of first, and then only it will give you good results with related to the bonding between you and your partner. Okay, looking into the fact that Mercury will be transiting in your 6th house starting from 7th of June onwards, so yes, it indicates that certain matters related to you and your partner with respect to like marital relationship, more of a at a sensual level, at a level of intimacy. I will say that certain matters will be there which needs to be taken care of first. Some kind of conflict, some kind of dispute has to be taken care of first, and then only it will give you good results in the upcoming days. Okay, so take care of it more promptly, and then this can give you much more better results. If we talk about Saturn, then Saturn happens to be your second lord and third lord, and Saturn will be turning retrograde this month. On 17th of June, it is transiting in your third house, and it is retrograding in your third house on 17th of June 2023. So, this is a time when you need to be more into introspection regarding your efforts and actions. It is very essential now. On certain matters you may feel that you are not getting enough interest to work upon, so I will say that this is a time when you can look into your creative talents, or anything which you are good at but you have lost interest back in the past. So all those things all of a sudden may come in front of you. You may start something again which you have ignored in the past, and that will give you much more better results. So try to involve your innovative ideas, your creative talents in a more creative manner. That will give you much more better results. And I will say that since Saturn is your second lord retrograding in the third house, so this is a time certain matters related to your finances, your investment plans, and money related matters or family matters will be a concern for you. So you need to be more committed towards those things. Try to become more responsible and disciplined towards those things. That will give you much more better results. Try to avoid any kind of expenditures or spendings which are not meant to be done, and try to involve in long term investments. That will give you good results. Okay, so that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, Jupiter, Rahu, and Mercury is transiting in the fourth house, and now Rahu and Jupiter are in very close conjunction in your fourth house. Jupiter happens to be your 12th lord and third lord, and it is transiting with Rahu in the fourth house. So, and in the close conjunction. So, I will say that this is a strong and very significant planetary energy associated with Jupiter and Rahu, which can actually mean that it can lead to some kind of transfer, some kind of relocation from your present place. There is a chance that you may move to one place to another. Now that can be related to your work, that can be related to some kind of any kind of relocation from your present place. So suppose if you are thinking to change your residence, or suppose you are thinking to move to one place to another, in that way this Jupiter Rahu conjunction will be beneficial to you. But suppose you are at one place, then this particular Rahu Jupiter conjunction, suppose you are working in one particular place, or you are working on one particular project, okay, then this Rahu Jupiter conjunction happening in your fourth house may create some kind of anxiety, some kind of restlessness within you, or even some kind of confusion within you with respect to your efforts, with respect to your spiritual thoughts, and that will impact your work ethics also, because Rahu Jupiter is transiting in the fourth house, and Jupiter will be looking onto your 10th house. So this will impact your work ethics also. So I will say that it is very essential now that follow your dharma, follow your karma in a more prompt manner, in a more righteous manner. That will give you much more better results, and take enough responsibility towards your home, towards your homely matters. That will give you much more better results. At this moment, Mercury is transiting in your fourth house, but very soon on 7th of June, Mercury will change the sign. Mercury will come onto your fifth house and get conjunct with Sun. I will say that it is a good transit. Although Sun happens to be your eighth lord, it will be conjunction with Mercury in the fifth house. So this can be lead to some kind of nervous related ailments. So take care regarding your health. Take care regarding how you are taking care of your body. Take enough rest. Okay, during that particular time from 7 June onwards. But I will say this will also improve your curiosity or inquisitiveness regarding learning some new kind of knowledge. You may all of a sudden get interested into religious scriptures or ancient sciences. In that way it will give you much more better results. Okay, and on 15th of June, Sun will change the sign. Sun will come onto your 6th house, and normally the transit of Sun in the 6th house is considered very good because it allows you to get more power and confidence regarding your work. It allows you to curb your opponents and get victory in every sector of your life. So normally it is considered very good. Okay, now on 24th of June, Mercury will also change the sign. It will come out of your 5th house and it will enter your 6th house. Now Mercury rules your 6th house, so in that way that time that Sun Mercury conjunction will give you much more better results, because it will not only help you to work more on your challenges in a better manner, but also get victory over it. Okay, so that will be a very good time for you. So make the most out of it during this Mercury and Sun transit through your 5th house and your 6th house. Okay, at this moment of time, Mars and Venus is transiting in your 7th house, and Mars is debilitated, and 2 days back Venus has joined Mars in your 7th house. Now Mars rules your 11th house, Mars rules your 4th house, and it is transiting in the 7th house in the debilitated mode. So, first of all, I will say that there will be some kind of restlessness regarding your domestic matters. Specifically, Rahu and Jupiter is transiting in the 4th house, and there can be some restlessness because some miscommunications can be there between you and your network circle, or suppose you are working in a team or group. In that way also it can create some kind of problems or miscommunications between you and them. But now Venus has entered your 7th house. Now the transit of Venus in the 7th house is considered very good because it improves the bonding between you and your partner. It improves the partnerships, it improves the relationship. So I will say that try to involve the compassionate and creative nature of Venus more into your relationship rather than getting too much impulsive through the Martian energy, that also in the debilitated state. Okay, try to avoid the impulsion rather than try to become more soft and be more compassionate. That will give you much more better results, because here Venus will improve your emotional strength. It will give you that emotional power. So more you are taking care regarding your partner now, it will be helpful to you, not only improving your relationship and partnership, but also it will give you that mental peace, because Venus rules your 5th house. And since Venus is transiting in the 7th house, Venus rules your 10th house, so it will be good for you for your job, for your work, your business and career. Okay, in that way also it is going to give you much more better results. Saturn is transiting in your 2nd house. Saturn is your Lagna lord, Saturn is your 2nd lord. Saturn is turning retrograde. Now this particular transit of Saturn is going to be very crucial for you, because Saturn is the Lagna lord itself, it is the ascendant lord. On 17th of June 2023, Saturn is turning retrograde in your 2nd house. So 2-3 things has to be taken care of. First of all, regarding your health, your personality, your discipline, your commitment, your decision making in day-to-day life. These are the things which you need to be very careful about after Saturn turns retrograde. Since Saturn is turning retrograde in its own house, Mulatrikona sign Aquarius, so it will also give you solutions to your problems. Suppose in any matter you are getting some kind of issues, then this Saturn will also give you solutions to those problems, and ultimately it will be helpful to you to make yourself more better in day-to-day life in the upcoming days. But you need to be ready to accept the right things in your life, follow the proper karma, proper dharma. In that way this Saturn will give you much more better results. Now since it is the ruler of your 2nd house also, so this is also it also indicates that you need to be very careful regarding your family matters, and all of a sudden some responsibilities related to your family, related to your finances will come in front of you, which you need to be ready to accept and take care of it in a more disciplined and responsible manner. That will give you much more better results. Okay, try to avoid any kind of unnecessary expenditures and try to get into long term investment that will give you much more better results with this retrogression of Saturn in the second house. So that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Jupiter, Rahu, Mercury, they are transiting in your third house, but Rahu and Jupiter are in very strong conjunction with each other in the third house. So, first thing is that during this particular time, you need to be very, very careful regarding your communication, means what you are communicating, with whom you are communicating. These are the things you need to be very careful. You should not say something which are not meant to be said, or anything you say, it should be backed by proper thought and wisdom, because there can be a sense of illusion. You communicate something with someone and that can land you into some kind of problems. So these are the things you need to be very careful about. And since Jupiter and Rahu are in strong conjunction now in a very close proximity, so suppose if you are taking on in some kind of projects, then until and unless you are sure about it, don't start that project, or don't say yes to it. Okay, because it can be a sense of illusion. You start it and you can get into some kind of problem. So before you start something, make sure that you are well equipped about it. If not, then learn about it, increase your knowledge and wisdom, then you can start about it. Okay, that will give you much more better results. Now, Mercury is a very good planet for the Aquarius ascendant people. It is your fifth lord and eighth lord, and Mercury is transiting in the third house. Very soon, it will come out of your third house, and it will enter your fourth house on 7th of June 2023. And that time, I will say that this Mercury will give you much more better results. This Mercury, when it comes onto your fourth house, it will give you a good opportunity and chance to work on your projects. Although Rahu and Jupiter will be transiting in your on your third house in a close conjunction, still I will say that the advent of Mercury into your fourth house on 7th of June onwards, it will be a good time to think about your efforts, your projects, your actions in a much more better manner. It will give you that intellectual ability and opportunity to work on it and ultimately get success over it. So you can use that mercurial intellectual knowledge, and that will give you much more better results. If I talk about Sun, you see, Sun is your seventh lord, and Sun is transiting in your fourth house now. Normally, it is said that transit of seventh lord in the fourth house is considered good, because that planet is associated with your partner, your spouse. So this is a moment when you may feel that you are getting cooperation from your spouse, and your spouse is taking extra responsibility, extra attention regarding the household matters, and you are getting extra cooperation from him or her regarding your household happiness and your household matters in a much more better manner. It will not only improve your mental peace, but also it will be good for you with regards to how you are managing the domestic matters in a proper manner, especially with regards to the conjunction of Sun and Mercury, which will happen in your fourth house after 7th of June. It will be highly beneficial to you. Now, one more thing. Sun is a very hot and bright planet. It is transiting onto your fourth house. So this is also an indicator that certain matters will be there which can lead to some kind of anxiety. Initially some anxiety can be there. So I will say that don't get involved into each and everything which are not meant to be done. Like suppose some matters you may ignore it. Okay, you may ignore it, means you don't need to get into all those things. So more you are getting into all those things, then that can lead to some kind of anxiety. So just choose the things which it is meant to be. Otherwise you can just wait, the things will be better in upcoming days and time. Okay, on 15th of June, Sun is changing the sign. Sun is coming onto your fifth house, and on 24th of June, Mercury is changing the sign. Mercury is coming onto your fifth house. So that time, Sun and Mercury conjunction will be happening in your fifth house, and I will say that this is a time period when you need to be very careful regarding your ego. There can be all of a sudden some ego boost, and that can lead to some kind of problems between you and your partner. Suppose you are learning new things, or you are working on your creative talent, it can lead to some kind of extra overconfidence, and that can land you into some kind of problems. Okay, try to avoid any kind of ego things during that particular time. And it is also a time you may get connected with someone in with regards to love and romantic relationship, because sun is your seventh lord and mercury is your fifth lord. They are getting conjunct in your fifth house, so there is a chance of love and romantic relationship during that particular time. Only you need to work on your ego. Don't get into anything which can bring your egoistic behavior between you and your partner. Okay, so that can lead to some kind of problems. Try to avoid it. Mars and Venus is transiting in your sixth house. Now, normally the transit of Mars in the sixth house is considered good, but since it is debilitated, so initially you may feel some kind of struggles while you are putting your hard work into your day-to-day life, in your job or service. Okay, some struggles you may feel with regards to your job, with regards to your efforts, because Mercury rules your third house of efforts and 10th house of job, your career, your profession. Okay, now if we particularly talk about job and service, that is sixth house where mercury is transiting, but 10th house is basically your career, your profession, your karma. Okay, so some confusion can be there, some anxiety related to those things can be there, so you may feel that you are getting restless because you are unable to put your energy into the right things. So don't worry, things will be better, because uh, in the sixth house, when Mars is transiting in the debilitated mode, it will also give you the energy to do the hard work in a constant manner, and one time you will see that yes, you are getting the good results. So put your efforts in regularity, in with proper hard work, and you will see that one day or the other the things is getting turning bright for you. Okay, it is not like that you are doing the hard work and you are not getting the results. No, since it is the upachya bhav, sixth house is the upachya bhav. Upachya bhav means it improves with time. So keep doing your hard work and it will give you good results. Now, if we talk about Venus, you see, Venus is your Yoga Karaka planet. It is your fourth lord and your ninth lord, transiting in the sixth house along with Mars. So Venus becomes a very important planet for you. So this transit of Venus in the sixth house is not that great, I will say. Although it will try to improve the quality of your sixth house, because Venus is a benefic planet, and since Mars is getting debilitated over there, so it will try to improve the quality of your sixth house. But with regards to your fourth house and ninth house, the lordship of Venus, it is not that great. So take care regarding the health of your parents, your mother, your father. Okay, so these are the things we need to be very careful about. And also how you are dealing with your partner in your relationship at professional and at the personal level, you need to be very careful about, because Venus is the significator of partnership of the seventh house. Saturn is your first lord and your 12th lord. Saturn is transiting in your first house, and on 17th of June 2023, Saturn will be retrograde. Now, this is going to be a very important planetary energy for you, because Saturn is transiting on your first house, and it is your Lagna lord, it is your first lord, and it will be retrograde on 17th of June. So, few things like your health, your personality, your decision making, your punctuality. These are the things you need to be very careful about. Since Saturn is also a 12th lord retrograding in the first house, so health care will be essential. No matter whatever hard work you do, you also must take out some time for your own self, for your own healing, for your own rest, for your own proper sleep. This is very essential during this particular time. Okay, since Saturn is retrograding in the first house, so suppose you are doing some work or you are starting any project, don't take any long time project. Even if you are working in a big project or long project, make yourself into it in small task. divide it into a small task, so that you can focus on one small task at a time, and when you get success over it, then you can look into the other one. Okay, so small steps will give you much more better results, because in the first house, Saturn loses its digbal, Saturn loses its directional strength. So if you are thinking about long projects, all of a sudden it may lead you to some kind of problem. So divide your work, your decision making regarding any kind of plan into small steps and work on it. That will give you much more better results. Okay, so that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For the Pisces ascendant people, Rahu, Mercury, Jupiter is transiting in your second house, and Rahu and Jupiter are in close conjunction with each other. And Jupiter is a very important planet for you. It is your first lord, it is your ascendant lord, and it is also your 10th lord, transiting in the second house in the close conjunction with Rahu. So certain matters can be there which may create problem or confusion between you and your family members with regards to your own work, with regards to your own career or profession. There can be a dilemma between you and your work ethics, with regards to your family and your finances. Okay, so certain matters will be there where you may be feeling some kind of confusion regarding your own ethics, your own value system with regards to you and your family. So try to avoid any kind of disputes or arguments or any kind of conflicts between you and your family members, very essentially during this particular time, during this month of June 2023. And don't take any big decisions regarding your finances all of a sudden. Don't take it, means look into it very properly, very nicely, and when you are completely sure about it, then only you can take care about it, you can take decision about it, otherwise not. And take care regarding your health, because Rahu and Jupiter will be aspected by Saturn, and Saturn will be retrograde soon on 17th of June. So take care regarding your health also. If we talk about Mercury, then very soon Mercury will change the sign. It will come out of the clutch of Rahu. On 7th of June, it is entering your third house and get conjunct with Sun. So that time it will not only improve your communication skills, but also improve your confidence. It will allow you to work on your projects and start new efforts and actions with regards to your work in a much more prompt manner, in much more better manner. It will allow you to work on your creative talents, and it will improve your inclination to learn new things. Okay, but Mercury happens to be your seventh lord also. So seventh lord transiting in the third house. So normally this indicates that there can be some kind of struggles, or some kind of more efforts has to be put in order to make things better in your relationship or partnership. Okay, and Mercury also happens to be your fourth lord also. Your fourth lord will be transiting that time in your third house in the presence of Sun. So certain matters may create anxiety or restlessness within your mind, related to your domestic affairs, related to your home or homely matters. Okay, so those things may get more into limelight, or more may come in front of you when Sun changes the sign, when Sun will come into your fourth house on 15th of June 2023, because Sun happens to be your sixth lord also. So on 15th of June, when Sun leaves the third house, it enters your fourth house. So that time onwards, you will see that certain matters related to your home or domestic affairs, or any matter which can create some kind of anxiety or disturb your mental peace, those matters all of a sudden will come in front of you, and you need to address it, you need to take care of it. But on 24th of June onwards, Mercury will again change the sign. Mercury will again enter your fourth house. So that time you will get that proper intellectual ability and energy to work on those things. Even though any challenges will come, even though any matters may come in front of you, no matter, you don't need to worry, because after 24th of June, when Mercury comes onto your fourth house, it will take care of it. It will give you much more better results. Okay. If we talk about Mars and Venus, then Mars and Venus is transiting on your fifth house, and Mars is debilitated over there. So there can be some kind of lethargy, or some kind of confusion or anxiety regarding your creative skills, or your creative intelligence, or you may feel that what to do with this creative talents, means what is the new way out. So this kind of feelings can be there. But 2 days back, Venus entered your fifth house and it has got conjunct with Mars. So now this will improve your creative skills. This Venusian energy will give more compassion and emotions towards your work, and it will actually help out this Mars to work on in a right path. This Mars Venus combination can also lead to some kind of love and romantic type of bonding between you and one your partner. Okay, means suppose you are thinking to get into some kind of relationship regarding to your love and romantic type of bonding, then in that case also this Mars and Venus combination can be highly beneficial for you. Now, one more thing I will add here is that Mars is your ninth lord, Venus is your eighth lord. Okay, so this ninth and eighth lord combination is happening in your fifth house. So this is also a time when you may get chance to learn about some kind of ancient sciences or occult studies or study related to religious scriptures or spiritual studies. Okay, although Mars will be debilitated, but still I will say that some opportunities will come. So you may take care regarding that. You may look into those things, and it will ultimately give you much more better results, because more you are involving into spiritual and religious studies and activities, more it will improve your Jupiter. Although Jupiter is transiting in the second house along with Rahu, it is impacting your value system, but still more you are involving yourself into spiritual and religious work, it will improve your Jupiterian energy within you, and it will ultimately give you good results and mental satisfaction. Mars and Venus will look on to your 11th house. So more you are doing hard work with regards to your creative talent, and you are working on your creative skill set, more it is going to give you good results with respect to your gains. And Venus will aspect your 11th house, so it will improve the bonding between you and your network circle also. Okay, if we talk about Saturn, you see Saturn is your 11th lord and 12th lord. Saturn is transiting in the 12th house, and very soon it will turn retrograde on 17th of June 2023. Okay, so this Saturn will, first of all, I will say here one thing, that you need to be very careful regarding your health, because it is your 12th lord retrograding in the 12th house. So certain matters related to your health may come in front of you, because Saturn will be aspecting onto your second house by its third aspect, where Jupiter is transiting, and Jupiter is your first lord. So this is the essential time when you need to be very careful regarding your health. You need to be very careful regarding your expenditures and losses. In case of any prevalent health condition, you need to be very careful regarding that. You should not ignore it, or else it can lead you to some kind of more health concerns. This is also a time you need to follow your dharma and karma in a proper manner, or else it may lead you to some kind of more problems with respect to your status, reputation, and your fame and name. Okay, uh, this transit of Saturn, you may feel that you are doing so many hard work, you are doing this, you are doing everything, but you are not getting enough cooperation from others. You may feel like that. So this is a time to become more selfless and work for the benefit of other people, for the good of other people. In that way, this particular Saturn transit in the retrograde motion will be much more beneficial for you. And since Saturn is your 11th lord also, and it is transiting in the 12th house in the retrograde motion after 17th of June, so all of a sudden you will see that you are getting proper insights and opportunities to improve your gains and income and profits in your life. It will also improve the bonding between you and your network circle. So suppose if you are working in any kind of multinational company, or suppose you are working in a group, in a project, in some faraway lands, or suppose you are doing any kind of business related to import or export, or you are thinking to expand your work in some faraway place, in that case also this transit of Saturn in the retrograde motion will be highly beneficial for you, and it will give you good results. Although Saturn moves very slowly, so you will get the insights and opportunities with time. So it is actually giving you time to work upon the things in a steady manner. So make the most out of it. take care regarding your responsibilities, your activities, your discipline, your karma and dharma in a more proper manner, and you see that how the Saturn is going to give you much more better results. Take care regarding your health. Okay, so that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. So you was that how the planets are going to play their role for all the 12 ascendant signs. So if you have liked this video, press the like button, share to your near and dear ones, so that they may also come to know regarding how the planets are going to play their role for the month of June 2023. And you are new to if you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new video you get notified instantly. And anytime if you want a consultation from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID, or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. All the links are given down in the description section. So that's it from my side. So next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some another interesting video. So till then, I'm signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.